Hey adventurers, so today is going to be another book review. This is going to be for The Sweetness at the Bottom of the Pie by Alan Bradley. So this is a mystery or a murder mystery, a little bit of cozy mystery as well, and a historical fiction because the author wrote it in the early 2000s and it takes place in like the 1950s, so therefore it becomes historical fiction. Yeah, let's talk about this. So The Sweetness at the Bottom of the Pie is the first book in the Flavia de Luce series by Alan Bradley. This is not a series that I was familiar with, nor was it one that I would likely have tried anytime soon, except that I needed an audiobook and a friend recommended it to me and it was available. I was kind of, at the time before I hit request from before I checked it out from the library, whatever that's called, I was hoping that it wouldn't be available so I wouldn't have to listen to it, but then it was available and so I had to listen to it. It's not important. Anyways, the last mystery that I'd read was The Mysterious Affair at Styles, which I didn't much enjoy. And then I read this one, which reminded me a lot of that story, except that I found myself enjoying it. And so, yeah. Anyways, I want to talk about this. Before I get into the review though, I'd just quickly like to say if you're liking what you're seeing from an Erudite adventurer, we'd really appreciate it if you'd like, comment, and subscribe. So I don't think I have a ton to say about this book, even though I have a fair amount of words written. I feel like it went on a little bit too long, or rather, it needed some editing down a bit. It was a bit overwritten, I guess. But I found, though a bit annoying, I actually enjoyed following our main character well enough. I also like the details about the history of the world that were added into the story. I can't say how accurate they were, but it did seem like the author put in the research for this setting, and I do appreciate that. I would guess that they're fairly accurate, but I don't know the location that they're supposed to be at or anything like that. I just don't know a whole lot about that world at that time. The important note here is that I feel like the author put in the work to figure out what he was supposed to be writing about. I liked that our main character had a passion for chemistry. That's something interesting to me, especially when it can be woven into a story organically and when it actually does play a part of the story. It's kind of her little quirk thing that makes her an interesting character or a unique character or whatever, but it actually worked in this instance in a way that sometimes these detectives' quirks don't work in that way. It's also not something that we see very often, but I enjoy it most of the time when we do see it. Mostly though, I like the atmosphere of this book. I felt like I was in the setting with the character, and while not the most purple prose, it was enough detail that I could enjoy that part of the story in and of itself. Basically, if you compare this review to my review of The Mysterious Affair at Styles, the things that I said were lacking therein were actually done well in this book. As such, I was able to enjoy this book. I'm sure this played some role in my enjoyment as well, but, and I already mentioned this a little bit, I went into this book expecting not to like it that much. Expecting it to be one of those murder mystery fluff stories that don't really have much depth or complexity to them, but I found that there's actually some quality and wisdom to the story that I wasn't expecting, and that's something that I am very happy to see. Very happy to be surprised and find something different from a story that I'm expecting to find from it. And when I can be pleasantly surprised, that's always a good thing. Overall, I ended up enjoying this book, which I'm happy to be able to say. I could see myself reading another book in the series at some point, and that's really interesting to me. Mysteries are not a genre that I am terribly well versed in, and not a genre that I particularly love. I don't dislike them, and I actually really like watching them as TV shows more than I like reading about them. This desire to read the next book in the series is not a pressing desire or anything like that, but maybe sometime when I need an audiobook, I might just go and pick up the next one because I actually came away enjoying it. Basically my review of this book is it was a pleasant surprise, and I'm happy with that review. Anyways, thank you guys for watching an Erudite Adventure. We are posting videos every Monday and Thursday, and our social media is linked in the description down below. We will see you guys again soon. Stay warm.